for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good guys, Venom Fire here back from the video, and today we're bringing you guys another coverage defense. Again, we're going to be in the nickel 3-3-5 wide. It's a formation I've been running a lot. I've been telling you guys to start running this. Really good against the run, really good against the pass, and again, I got another pass defense for you out of this formation. Now, the player we're going to be running is Mike Blitz 3. I've already gone over videos on Mike Blitz 0 and 3 Sam Will Blitz. Those two plays, really good plays. So I'm kind of creating a scheme here. We've gone over 2, we'll go over a third today. I've obviously gone over the 2-man under probably like a month ago. So combine all those, you'll be really successful. Now, one thing you're going to want to do that I haven't talked about in other videos is you're going to want to audible from 3-3-5 to 3-3-5 wide. Get those safeties at linebacker in 3-3-5 wide. So I'm in the 4-6 defensive playbook, 4-6. It's one of the specialty playbooks. It has tons of great formation, but more so 3-3-5 and the 3-3-5 wide. Now, basically the reason that we're audibling is just to get safeties at linebacker. So in 3-3-5, you see I got Robinson here. He's a safety, Burris, safety. But in 3-3-5 wide, you notice that I can't sub in any safeties here at these outside linebacker spots. So if I come out in 3-3-5 and then audible quickly to 3-3-5 wide, I got safeties right here on these outside linebacker spots. So that's what we're going to do today. Obviously, it's optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I do recommend it for a little bit more athleticism at the linebacker spot. Now we're going to be using zone drops today. We've got a zone setup. We're going to have curl flats on 25 and flats on 5. And again, with this 3-3-5, make sure that your user is right here at the middle linebacker spot. Jeremy Chin, we're going to be using him. Also, make sure you have athletic defensive ends. Got Brian Burns and Shaq Thompson at DN just for the video's sake. They will do just fine. So you can come out in 3-3-5. You can come out in any play you want. Obviously, make sure that's in your audibles. Mike Blitz 3. Make sure, I recommend having it at X or square audible as well. So I'm just going to come out in Tampa 2. Again, doesn't really matter. We're audibling immediately after anyways. So it's really a simple audible. All I have to do is press X, D-pad to the left once, and X again. You see very clean audible. DNs will just shift in, and linebackers will go onto the line of scrimmage. So now let's get to the setup. First things first, what you're going to do is press and shade over the top. So the reason you do that is to get rid of the seam flats, turn them into curl flats, as well as shade over the top so that those outside thirds do not get burnt. Now, next thing you're going to do, and this is completely optional, is I like to just shift my D-line to the right. The reason I do that, we got the running back on the left side of Derek Carr, meaning that if they were to run inside zone, it's going to be to the right side. So that is just the base reason why I'm shifting to the right, help in the run game. Now, the next thing I do, I like to pinch my linebackers as well. Pinch your linebackers, also, you want to take a look at Brian Burns here. He's in this 3-receiver hook. This is a really good zone, and we'll talk about it later with putting the linebackers in it, but just for the first setup, we're only rushing 2 people. We're going to use the 3-rec hook. It's really good. It's like a user, and just stock with the D end. It's really difficult to find in plays, which is why we're running Mike Blitz 3 precisely because of this zone right here. Now, you got 2 more adjustments you're going to do. Obviously, we want to double flat, so I'm going to throw X in a hard flat and throw A in a hard flat. Now, again, I know that's a lot of adjustments. This is a little bit of an advanced setup, I will say, but really all you're doing is just pressing, shading over the top, and then putting those outside linebackers in flat zones. So, although it might have sounded like a lot, it's really not too much. If you know your adjustments, it takes maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds total to audible and make those adjustments. But yeah. Obviously, you also want to shift, but again, here's a look at our play art. Really nice, and it's also nice that our user is automatically on a blitz. If you didn't know, when you blitz your user, you get better agility, better movement across the field in the pass game. So here, I'll just snap the ball, stock, user, everything. Look at how that Brian Burns 3-rec hook, although he's starting on the left side, he follows the drag route completely over. So I'll show you guys the instant replay. Obviously, we know corner routes, things like that will be covered because we have double flats, so the curl flats. And also, if you want, you can move curl flats down to 20. 25 sometimes is a little bit deep, although that pass would have been picked off regardless. I've seen some people run it at 20. Usually I run it at 25, but really does depend on how you're playing offense. Brian Burns, you see he's going to come out, kind of bluff blitzes. Looks like he's following RB. They can't snap throw that. Looks like he's covering Y, and he actually follows him all the way over. So until he kind of passes him on to the hard flat. With your user, just take care of things a little bit deeper, like post routes, curl routes, dig routes, things of that nature. So I know it is only 2 people setup. We'll talk about a 3-man setup again a little bit later, but right when you come out in 3-3-5, audible, again, it's completely optional. If you're running a defensive playbook that you like that doesn't have 3-3-5, you don't have to audible. But I think it's just an extra step that really does help. And obviously we have them in hard flats. They're going to be more athletic, play things, hit stick, like that. So again, quickly audible, shift, press, shit over the top, and then just put those players in flat zones. Again, this is just the first setup, 2-man rush. So you see I set it up pretty quickly there. I might use the corner out, then I don't have to use the drag. They throw it, and look, Brian Burns was even that far back actually playing the dig route. So again, that's why I said get athletic defensive ends. Brian Burns, probably one of the most athletic in the NFL. But yeah. So with that being said, let's move on to another setup. Now the setup I'm going to be running is going to be a 3-man. I know you guys probably want a 3-man setup. So we're going to just go ahead, set it up the same, press, shoot over the top. We're going to shift to the side. We're going to pinch our linebackers like this. And then what you're going to do is usually you can just slant down. So I like to slant inside. I could do that, and I could also just leave my D-line the same. I've noticed a pretty good shed. You get pretty good block sheds when you just pinch your D-line, shift or slant inside, so I don't have to shift, although it will be better against the run. Doesn't really matter. I'll just leave them on that right side. So what you're going to do now is you are going to put X in a bluff blitz. So the reason I talked about this bluff blitz adjustment is because he is now in a 3-receiver hook. He's going to actually play the running back route now. So you see on offense, the running back's on that nice little underneath route. He's actually going to play that coming from this spot. So be careful about which player you put in. I've noticed a little weird glitch where if I try to throw A in a bluff blitz, he's just like in a weird blitz contained glitch. So we're going to throw A in a hard flat again. And this would be under the assumption that they were on a hash mark. So I would want to, in this case, they would probably be on the left hash. I'm double flatting to the wide side of the field. I'll actually respot the ball next play. But again, here's a look at the setup. You just want to take a guess. Usually, in this case, I would pretty much always double flat to the right side. But again, it does depend. This is really just rushing 3. If I wanted to, I could also spy one of these players. So I could spy A, leave him on a blitz. So we'll snap the ball. Use the corner route. Look at RB is going to follow that underneath route, almost acting like a hard flat. Even if he does throw that, we're making a tackle. And keep in mind, that's like a 60-something overall safety, so obviously not good coverage stats. So here, I'm just going to respot the ball really quickly, just to give you a better feel on why I'm hard flatting that side. So again, simply audible. I'll shift, pinch linebackers, press, shoot over the top. And then what we're doing, we're just going to slant inside, put X on a bluff blitz, put A on a hard flat, and we are good to go. So again, if this does seem like a lot of adjustments to you, I would recommend going into practice mode, trying this yourself before you go online, because you never want to get stuck in between adjustments. If you miss a hard flat, they're going to kill you in the flats. You miss a bluff blitz, you obviously only have your user, so be careful about that. And also, an adjustment that I'll talk about later next play is that you could just double flat with only one user. Obviously, I like the 3-rec hook. You see how much it does for you. So I like to have that on my field. Look at RB running the route for him, and especially because he was on the short side now, which is normally what people would do. You see relatively quick pressure again, and you notice how that bluff blitz is almost acting as a hard flat. So even if I threw A on a drag route, so I'll show you real quick. Let's throw A on a drag route like this. Just throw Y on like a clear out. So I want you to watch A. If all goes right, I believe X in his bluff blitz should go ahead and follow that. Again, set up the defense. Forgot to slant inside. Like this, we'll snap the ball, and he should follow A. I'm not sure what that was. It was kind of a weird glitch. Usually that doesn't happen though. I don't know why he just like ran into him. I guess that was kind of a Maybe it's because I slanted inside after, who knows. But moving on to the next setup, what you're gonna do, again, press shift over the top, shift, pinch your linebackers, slant inside, and then we're gonna throw 8 in a hard flat, again, and we're just gonna throw X in a hard flat. So now we got double flats, 1 user, and we got 3 people blitzing. Let's just run the ball here. I'll show you how you can really shoot that gap nicely. I'm not sure why he stopped running, but you notice we had rushers on the outside. I'll just show it again. Here's a look at the setup, and just put both those linebackers in hard flats like this, slant inside, and again, this time I will run the ball, and we go. So pretty good coverage. I would have been able to shoot that gap. I was trying to kind of use your 2 controllers, but you notice how they kind of rallies the ball. I'll show it one more time, passing the ball. Again, audible, press, accidentally backed off press, shade over the top, shift, pinch, and slant inside. Obviously, depending on your setup, usually with all 3 of these setups, you're just adding a step, taking away a step. So they're all relatively the same, which is definitely nice in my opinion. You can also leave your user like this, kind of hover, do whatever. User A, go from Y, go to X, and you get to throw out a sack. But I actually threw it to X there and it was completed to Y, kind of cool. But yeah, it's pretty much gonna do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Again, I'm gonna be trying to drop a run defense in a couple of days, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's gonna do it for the video. Follow me on Twitter, link will be in the description, and peace. I'm out of here.